we were joking before we started to record about you being an introvert and your way of connecting. You're very intentional about the connections that you make and the way you sort of network. I don't even know if you even use that term, network. Like, talk about the way you go about connecting with other folks, whether it be HRHotSeat or just in general, like you and I met at the event with and Frankie Move.
Well, meaningful connection is a through line to much of what I do, and it's certainly not to imply that people who aren't introverted don't value meaningful connection. So, I certainly don't mean to say that, but as an introvert myself, I really, as I am networking, if we want to use that word, I am looking for those meaningful connections. I facilitate a session called Network Like an Introvert. And it's not necessarily because I'm showing up as a subject matter expert, but I have been so fearful over the years and anxious about networking myself that I thought, well, what better way to get more comfortable with it than to surround myself with people who also want to figure it out, regardless of their personality style. So I started leading this session just as much to help me as to help anybody else become a little bit more comfortable with the concept of networking. But I said, sort of in a nutshell, introverts tend to value deeper conversations with fewer people. So rather than casting a larger net, they have a smaller group of people that they tend to be closer with. Introverts tend to be fairly good listeners, active listeners, and curious, analytical, asking follow-up questions. Those sorts of things. And that's really how I approach connection with people, whether it's in person or in a virtual conversation like this. I'm eager to show up and share anything that will be of value, of course. But at the same time, I'm sometimes in discussions like this, I have to hold myself back because I have so many questions for you. I want to know where you've come from and how you do the work that you do and what's behind it, what your motivations are. And I think that curiosity really lends itself well to networking environments where you have an opportunity to really get to know somebody and go home with a business card that you want to do something with, rather than a stack that, you know what, I didn't really get to know any of these people. I don't know what to do with these cards. And honestly, I might not even care to remain in touch with those folks because I didn't get to know who they really are as individuals.
Yeah. So it's like, bring some value, man. Don't show up to these things. People will show up to a group of people with business cards, like they're handing them out like they're raffle tickets, and they're just like, "Hey, how you doing? I don't, I don't know you. We haven't connected. Why do I want this? Why is this important to me? Um, what, what, my 5-year-old took him to karate for the first time this week. And he's just a little ball of energy, and we're waiting to get our little, uniform and get, make sure he's in the right class and everything. And there was a kid who just walked up and said, "Hey, is this his first class?" I said, "Yeah." The kid was probably 12. He said, "He's gonna love it." And he said, "I've been doing it for 7 years or what." He's like, "I love it." And it was just a very kind gesture. The 12-year-old wasn't trying to hand me a business card, or he was just adding. He was just adding some value. And I think that sometimes we don't think that what we have is valuable, but it could be something as simple as just a couple of comforting words to a parent, right?